Hello, my name is Chad Watson, and this is my Discussion 6 vlog for preparing for the future. And this is on the Neo evolution. So all of my references that I'll be citing will be down below in the comments. I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently today. I am going to just wing it and go for it because I thought the questions here were quite thought-provoking, that it would be better if I did it off the cuff. And some of them are more personal experiences for me in my life and what I'm going through right now because of my current life situation, and we'll discuss that in a moment. So the first question, describe neoevolution. Well, according to Dr. Feinberg, he said neoevolution is the new evolution that is not simply natural, but guided and chosen by us as individuals in the choices that we will make. So it also says, what are the primary tenets of this kind of evolution? At the beginning of his talk in the TED Talk, he goes and says, suppose I said with just a few changes in your genes, you could get better memory, more precise, more accurate, and quicker. Or maybe you'd like to be more fit, stronger, with more stamina. Would you like to be more attractive or self-confident? How about living longer with good health? Or perhaps you're one of those who've always yearned to be more creative. So these are some of the things that, as we go and talk about a new kind of evolution, we can discuss, what kind of options, that do we want as people. There are instances now where you can go and pick what gender you want your child to be, what sex you want your child to be, if you want to be male or female. Do you want it to have brown eyes or blue eyes? There's these giant slew of questions that you can go and kind of have a checklist and go and say, this is what my preferred items would be in a kid. So number 2, provide an example of a technology that is altering or may alter human evolution. Well, I'm going to get a little personal on this for a minute. My wife is very well aware of what I'm sharing, and because it's her story too, because we're going through this together. When my wife was 7, her pediatrician let her go undiagnosed with appendicitis for 8 months, and that caused the right side of her ovaries and fallopian tubes to get screwed up. So we can't have kids in the natural way. So we've been trying to figure out what options we have. Yes, adoption is an option, but that could be very expensive. Most of these options are. But something that came to us is we have some very good friends who went through the in vitro fertilization process 2 years ago, and they went through and had everything done with getting embryos and getting that all taken care of, and they eventually ended up having twins. And they came to my wife and I and said, we know you guys are having trouble with having kids, so we want to donate the rest of our embryos to you. So the difference being that instead of them going and implanting the embryos and then having the kids go up for adoption, basically we would be adopting these embryos first, and then we would implant them in my wife Lisa, and then she would actually have the experience to be able to go and have birth, have the kids grow in her belly, and the 9-month thing, and then eventually they come. So that is a technology that is fairly new and it's recent, and it's something that I think could actually be a part of human evolution, because it's not my sperm and her eggs, it's our friend's sperm and our friend's eggs, and then we're going to be able to have, kids that are biologically theirs, but they would be ours through the process. So what would a benefit be for this? Well, it gives the option for my wife and I to be able to go and have kids, for one. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for us to be able to go and have kids naturally, or maybe even through IVF ourselves. We'll just have to see. But I think it's a positive experience that can happen for people who don't have the ability necessarily to have children on their own through the natural way. Is there a drawback? Well, right now, this kind of thing is very new, very expensive. It's about $15,000. We have our GoFundMe account set up so that way we can help try and raise money for that. So it's a new thing, like I said, that's happening. And IVF, I think, is a good way that people can go and it's a positive thing that can happen, but the drawbacks are, it's not covered by insurance. It's an expensive option that people have. And, depending on if you only go through people who are donating, you're kind of limiting the gene pool down a little bit because you don't have as many people available who are donating these kinds of embryos. So that way we get a big expanse from different kinds of people. What are the moral and ethical implications of neoevolution? Well, talking about IVF, there are some people who feel that we are making the wrong choice because of religious backgrounds or what their ethical standards are, because they feel that perhaps maybe we should, maybe we're just chosen not to have kids at all. But we've gone through and had the discussion and the thought process and made the rational choice that, for us at least, that this is the choice that we want to make in order to go and have a family. And so that's something that, individuals, maybe it's not right for everybody, but for us, we feel it's the right choice. Should we continue to pursue this form of technology? Why or why not? I think we should. I think it gives people an option that wasn't available, 10 or 15 or 30 years ago. I mean, people now can have kids that didn't have that availability. So if they want to have a family, they can. And people can go and donate. It just so happens for us, our really good friends are the ones who donated the embryos. I know that there are some people who, they donate their sperm or they donate eggs or whatever, and then they can create kids that way. I think there's positives and negatives to that, but I think that overall, it has to be a choice that two people have to make if that's what they want to do with their life. And my wife and I feel that this is what we need to do. So this is my video blog. I hope this was something that you found entertaining or you learned something from or whatever. But hope you have fun with it. Good luck.